There have been a lot of complaints, a lot of talks, a lot of arguments. Some people saying yes, the referee Kavanagh got the decision right. Darren England was, right to, call him over to the pitch side monitor to debate on, the supposed foul on David Raya by Pablo. Why some persons are like, this is a foul, okay? There was an impediment, there was holding, so the goal shouldn't have counted. It was the right decision coming from the center referee yesterday in that London derby involving West Ham United and Arsenal at the London Stadium. Yes, it was a game of great magnitude because a lot was at stake yesterday. For West Ham United, it was a fight for survival, while for Arsenal, it was a fight to win the title. First time since 2004, 2005, when Arsenal went invincible for a whole season. Now, the question is, was the referee right in disallowing West Ham United's goal? Because that particular goal would have made a huge difference for West Ham United. And for Arsenal, the win yesterday was a huge relief for Arsenal fans who were just 2 games away from winning their first Premier League title in over 20 years. But why we make the arguments and why we debate, okay, whether the decision was right or not, I've also heard people say this season in the Premier League, we've seen situations like that, and VAR did not intervene, and VAR, just had to continue play. And also, we've seen Arsenal, score goals and situations where the goalkeeper is under pressure. There's a lot of pushing, there's a lot of tossing, there's a lot of holding in that 80-yard box. But at the end of the day, does it make it right? That VAR ignored in some situations does not make it right. So at this point, I always love going to the IFAB rule to know what exactly the rule states in situation like this. So I'm gonna get straight to the IFAB rule 12 and actually understands what it says about goalkeeper and when decisions should be allowed or when a decision should be allowed to stand or overturned. Now, this is what IFAB Law 12 actually says on the issue that happened yesterday at the London Stadium between West Ham United and Arsenal and how it applies to the game yesterday. The rule says a goalkeeper cannot be challenged by an opponent when in control of the ball with their hands or arms. Beyond that, it is an indirect free kick offense if a player prevents the goalkeeper from releasing the ball from hands or kicks or attempts to kick the ball when the goalkeeper is in the process of releasing it. We're actually going to look at what counts as a foul on the goalkeeper because I know during corners there's a lot of pushing, a lot of tossing, a lot of holding. Now, the broader foul framework under Law 12 covers holding and impeding. Hold on to these two words, holding and impeding. A holding offense occurs only when a player's contact with an opponent's body or equipment impedes the opponent's movements. So the question becomes whether Pablo's arm across Raya's chest genuinely impeded his movement to claim the ball, which is exactly what VAR decided it did. You need to probably, go watch the clip. Law doesn't specifically carve out a special goalkeeper in a crowded box room. The standard foul laws apply. Now, VAR England identified that Pablo's arm was in an unnecessary position across Raya's chest, clearly impeding his ability to catch the ball, to move, and that this had a direct impact on the outcome of the goal. Why you want to talk about other, issues not being looked into, but this was clearly an impediment. The truth is, in a packed 6-yard box, which is why it's always contentious. Like I said, a lot of holding, tussling. The Premier League's own guidance states that match officials should maintain a high threshold for penalizing challenges, and not every contact is a foul. But that one yesterday on Raya is definitely a foul. So that's arguably, the reason why this is so debatable. And because of the inconsistency with regards to situations like this or decisions like this, many people feel it was wrong, even if it was technically correct by the letter of the law. But because of the inconsistencies, that's the problem. The letter of the law supports the decision, but whether it meets the Premier League's own high threshold for intervention, well, it's a very fair question. So at this point, I want to say it was a game yesterday that held a lot of meaning. In fact, it was a huge game. So decisions like this requires the referee to be firm. And I must tell you, Kavanaugh was firm. It took about 4 minutes and few seconds, approximately 5 minutes, before a decision was reached with regards to that yesterday. So at this point, the big question is, do you think that the disallowed goal by West Ham yesterday was the right call, or you feel it was totally unnecessary by the referee? Should the goal have stood yesterday for West Ham United? I want to know what you think in the comments, because the likes of Mikel Obi and Co have come out to blast us now. Blasting us now doesn't change the issue at hand. The most important thing is if it was the right call by the referee or not. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Follow, like, share. Please subscribe. All right, turn on your notification bell because it's getting so interesting. We are just 2 games away from the end of the 2025-2026 Premier League season. Who wins the trophy? Who joins Burnley and Co. in the Sky Bet Championship next season? That's a big question. Please subscribe.